Hey everybody, welcome back to War Budgies. Welcome to the season finale of City on Fire, our Warcaster narrative campaign. Really hope you've enjoyed it. If you've been following us since the first episode, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys and kind of getting to share this whole nonsense adventure with you. I will have a few words to say at the end of the episode, so stick around on this one because I'm going to tell you about what's happening next. Preview, what's happening next is going to happen at Warfaire Weekend, which is in St. Louis, Missouri. It's a convention. November 1st to 3rd, I believe. So on Saturday at Warfare Weekend, we are going to run a big 8-player narrative campaign capstone mission, which is sort of what the season's been building to. Like the story of what the Eternus Continuum is doing here will be revealed in this episode, but you'll have a chance to do something about that at Warfare Weekend this November in St. Louis. We're going to have an 8-person table. It's going to be a good time. And if everything goes well, we'll try to run the scenario again at Adepticon. But for right now, we're just going to aim for Warfare and see how it goes. So once again, thank you guys for sticking around. Stick around after the show for the information of what's going down at Warfare Weekend. And hope you guys enjoy the episode finale, season finale, City on Fire. Thanks for watching. We've analyzed the wreck. It looks like the Continuum was splicing into the communications array. They've been tracking the evacuation numbers.
Why would they care about the evac numbers?
So they know when to make their move. Where are the transports taking the refugees?
The Northern Supply Depot is the primary staging point.
That would have filled up within hours. What's the secondary?
The skyport on the harbor.
And when that one is full?
The governor opened his grounds for the overflow.
It's an assassin. They burned this whole city just to move one agent, and we're delivering them right where they want to be. Emergency broadcast to all the evac crews. Alright, taking a look at the Iron Star Alliance for today, we're replacing our Paladin Commander with a Regulator Reeve, the Witch Hunter. He's going to be backed up by our favorite Paladin Weaver, here to throw around Fury Ciphers, generally be an Arc Relay. Backed up in turn by the towering Paladin Siegebreaker and his bristling arsenal. We got a unit of Tracers because mobility is going to be key in this scenario. A unit of Enforcers because they're always good at getting jobs done, and they'll be backed up, per usual, by the Paladin Aegis and his shield generator. Vehicle-wise, we've got an Interceptor coming in with an Immolator underneath. Our Warjack choices, plural, is going to be the Firebrand. This is our Stabby Firebrand with Jackhunter Cortex, Sword, Shield, and Harbinger Cannon. And then the Morningstar making a reappearance with his Glaive, Shield, Missiles, Harbinger Cannon, big tanky self. We got 2 heroes today. We are bringing back Baron Morgrave, the Definitely Not a Vampire, and Wojtek Sadal, the Bounty Hunter. Switching over to the Eternus Continuum forces for the finale, we have got our favorite Marauder, who's going to be leading the charge here. The Immortal Weaver, pondering her orb, ready to cast some spells. The Vassal Boss with the submachine guns of Armor Piercing. The Grafter, always a fun choice and one of my favorite models in the range. They are going to be supported by a unit of Reavers, Vassal Reavers with their chain blades, and Vassal Raiders with their sniper rifles. And the attachment for those two will be on standby, the Raker, the goodest boy. Vehicle-wise for this side, we're going to go with the Scythe, has the Wing Blade and the Heavy Displacer Cannon. We've got the Scourge. Scourge Light Warjack is back with his Claw, Force Rod, Rocket Pod, and Nailer. And the terrifying Airborne Nemesis for our Heavy Warjack, Twin Hall of H Cannons, a Void Splitter, and a Fusion Scythe. Our hero selections, we are bringing back Hierotheus Raxus, the Master of Cipher Cards, and Master Tolkien, Mentor to Warcasters. Welcome to episode 5, the season finale, and the evac scenario. This is a very custom scenario, and fair warning, I don't know how long this video is going to be, because this is a sudden death scenario. And that means I have no idea when it's actually going to finish. Obviously, we've got a pretty open plaza here, and we've got the evac transport in the center. The game is going to center around these 6 civilian markers. These are Sleepless City citizens from the Unit 9 Patreon. I will put a link in the description below because they do awesome work. One of these citizens, and only one of them, is an Eternus Continuum agent in disguise. They are trying to sneak aboard the flyer, so before you watch the video, go ahead and pause it and place your guess in the comments below as to which of these 6 it is. Going from left to right, we have Dr. Dismantle, Bubblegum Girl, My Uber is Late, Green Jacket Smoker, Casual Guy, and the Delivery Guy. One of those 6 is going to be the agent. You don't know which one, I don't know which one, because the scenario will determine it randomly. There are a good number of special rules here, so let's go through them real quick, talk about how these civilians are going to work. We got our board set up. Civilians are all set up around the perimeter. Having just arrived at the plaza, we've got the Good Doctor, Green Jacket Smoker, My Uber is Late, Bubblegum Girl, Casual Guy, and the Delivery Guy. They are all roughly 18 inches away from the flyer, and at the end of player 2's turn, every turn, they will advance 3 inches forward towards the flyer. These are not models in the sense that they can be targeted and attacked, because this is not that kind of game. These are just essentially tokens. However, they will follow all the normal rules for movement, so they can't just pass through terrain, they can't pass through other models, and they will not voluntarily move within the melee range of an AC model. I'll save you guys doing some math at home. 18 inches to the flyer, 3 inches at the end of player 2's turn, means that roughly the end of pulse round 2, we should start to see civilians reaching the flyer. When a civilian does, when they are within 1 inch of the flyer, they are removed from the board and they are loaded on to the evac transport. During this scenario, all the ISA warrior models gain the scan special action. They must be in base contact with the civilian, and there must be no AC within 3 inches of the civilian. We then roll a d6, and we add 1 for every civilian who has already been scanned, and we add 1 for every civilian who made it to the transport without being scanned. If the result is 7 or higher, then that civilian is the agent. So if the ISA discovers them, the ISA immediately wins the game. However, we also do the same roll if a civilian makes it onto the transport without being scanned, and if the result is 7 or higher, that civilian was the agent, and the AC immediately wins the game. Any other result is going to be ruled as a tie, so the ISA's goal is to keep the AC away from the civilians, move out, and be able to scan them before they get onto the ship. The AC's goal is to run so much interference, knock out so many ISA models, and keep them from doing their scan actions that we get enough people on the transport to verify the agent is aboard. That was a lot of explanation, should become more clear as we move on. Hope you guys are enjoying the season. Welcome to the finale. Remember to place your bets down below as far as who is our infiltrator. And let's get the show on the road. Rolling to see who goes first. As per custom and tradition, 4 up will be ISA. It is the ISA this go. And before we get started, I realize I forgot to explain deployment. It is very simple and fairly intuitive. The ISA deploying within 2 inches of the flyer because they have just landed. The AC deploying within 5 inches of each board edge because they were waiting in ambush for exactly this purpose. For the ISA turn, we're going to charge the tracers because this is the kind of thing they're built for. They are speed 8 with fly. We're going to give them divination algorithm to add +1 range, +1 POW to their little laser guns. Making those little laser guns range 11, so before they go off to do tracer things, they will shoot a volley into the Scourge. First shot, Rat 3 with an arc charge, and 3 strikes. Defense 3, no cover because the tracers have smart lock. 1 gets through. It's going to be POW 5 because of the divination algorithm against armor 4. And wounds him for 1. First blood or first oil or first paint scratch. I'm losing the plot here. Shot number 2. 3 strikes. Defense 3. Blocked it. Shot number 3. Only 2 strikes. Defense 3. And blocked it too. Alright, so more of a warning shot up there, warning the Scourge, which is probably twice the mass of all 3 of these guys put together, that this is their neighborhood. Sure it is. The tracers will take their 8-inch move, coming up to here. moving forwards towards the oncoming civilians, turning on their helpful little flashing lights. Please remain calm. There's only 6,000 explosions happening in your vicinity. Meanwhile, Baron Morgrave will move his 6 inches up, taking a little bit of shelter here. He remembers his old friend Hierotheus Raxus, with whom he has some unfinished business, which he would like to, I guess, make finished business. That kind of fell apart. But all he has is a little pistol, so that's going to be the end of his turn. We're going to hold on ciphers. We discarded a fairly useless one for the moment. And the tracers will drop a gate right hereabouts with 5 arc on it. As you have probably surmised, the key to this scenario is going to be getting warrior models onto the board and getting your opponent off the board. So 5 arc gates are the way to go. Start of the AC turn, we're going to charge the Marauder with 1. And then play, because we have it, Arcane Synthesis on Scourge Face. Triple arc. Now, Scourge is not a big fan of the way he's been treated so far. It has been very disrespectful to have a wound taken off by a Sony camera drone, essentially. So he is going to take a running jump, 6 inches forwards, drop onto the crate. It's less than 1 inch drop, so he takes no damage roll. Move his tokens, and he's going to open up on the offending drones. He's going to start off with his rocket pod into the center tracer. He is Rat 3 with 3 arc. And a decent roll with 4 strikes. 4 strikes running up against defense 3. Just drop the dice. Oh, 3 get through, and the blast goes off. Now 4 armor 3. And that debt is paid. With interest. Speaking of the interest, the blast damage against the first of the drones, he's fine. And the second drone, armor 3, he's fine as well. Good job, guys. I'm going to put his nailer into the same squad with 4 strikes again. Defense 3. Wow, all right. Press X to do barrel roll. Can't touch these guys. That does honestly seem like a fair trade. They did 1 wound to him, he did 1 wound back. All's fair in love, war, and Warcaster. The Marauder is going to do Stumpy Stomp, 5 inches forwards, and drop 3 inches onto the cargo container. Probably denting it a little bit. But does he sprain his ankle doing it? It is a POW 3 drop, armor 4. He does not. Now that he's arrived, he will put his Shredder into the tracers. Pulling for strafe. He gets the strafe. He is a slightly better shot than the Scourge is, coming in Rat 4 with 1 arc charge. And a good shot with 5 strikes. Defense 3. They don't block any of it. Do you believe we are headed for a second casualty? Yes, indeed we are. Another one down. Second shot against the last tracer. That is a good shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikes. 7 strikes, defense 3. 4 of them are through. Roll straight into it. 4. Armor. 3. Lost 1. Grab another one. And not by as much as I would have expected, but he is out. And his claw is only 1 inch, so he is just out of reach of trying to snip at Morgrave down there. We'll give him a little prize. See, it's well done. Tracers did manage to put this gate here, so that is the important part as we close in on the end of turn 1. The Marauder will do the dropping of the gate with only 3 arc on this, because that's all they have left. Kind of front-loaded the Scourge there. Was really hoping for more out of him, but you know, he's still charged, so we'll see what we can do moving forward. That's the end of the AC turn, so now it's time to move the civilians. Each one will move 3 inches straight forward. They will go around terrain, not through it, and they will not voluntarily move within melee range of an AC model. Not a big issue right now, but later on down the road, the AC can actually do a lot to affect how they move based on where they place guys like this. And if you're playing this scenario at home, it's very simple to do. You simply aim your tape measures roughly towards where the flyer is, and they will move 3 inches forward. And here we are moving across from delivery driver, casual guy, bubblegum girl, my Uber is late. These two on the far end had the farthest to go because they spent 2 inches climbing down for that platform. Good doctor is back in there. Start the ISA turn, they are going to charge the regulator reeve. And because he is capable of casting Fury Ciphers up to 12 inches, he's going to throw no collider up at the Scourge. Thought I was being really clever putting models on top of scenic things, but now I have no place to put my dice tray. So we'll improvise. He is focus 4. There is only 1 arc in the tank because it's a busy board right now. Oh, but a good opener with 5 strikes. Scourge defense 3 has the high ground. And 3 strikes get through. No collider is POW 3, armor 4, nothing there. But it did hit, so he loses 1 of his 3 arc. Now that's out of the way. He is speed 5, he's going to move 3 inches here, 2 inches up, and engage the Marauder in some good old-fashioned fisticuffs with his sword. He is mat 5 with his plasma sword. 1 arc charge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 strikes. 5 strikes against defense 2. Lost a dice. Blocks 2, 3 are through. POW 5, armor 4. And takes him for 1. So the Marauder takes 1 health. And because it's the regulator reeve's plasma sword, he bursts into flames. And he's going to shoot his wrist-mounted purifier next, setting it to 400 degrees or until crispy brown. He's only rat 3, unfortunately. He's better with the sword than the gun. Still not bad with 4 strikes. Defense 2. And all 4 through. POW 4 on the purifier. And gets him for 1 more. Marauder is down to his last health, and he is on fire, but he is otherwise feeling fine. Not a bad debut for the regulator reeve. Called a job well done there. Weaver is going to move his 6 inches forward, ending up roughly there, sort of waving his staff around in a circle and trying to direct the civilians towards himself. And he'll put a pistol shot into the Marauder because why not? Gotta show off for the boss if you want that promotion. 2 strikes. 2 strikes, defense 2 in the high ground. Hey, 1 gets through. POW 3, armor 4. Oh, he almost had you, man. And finally, we're going to use Aggression Theorem to get 1 more swing of the sword. Swinging him with the stab. 3 strikes. 3 strikes is certainly doable. Oh, but not like that. Can we break armor 4? Armor 4 broken. The Marauder goes down in a big burning heap of metal. Yeah, that's enough warming up. Let's get the show on the road and let's get some reinforcements out of this gate. Bringing out Wojtek Sadal, the Enforcers, and the Firebrand for heavy support that can challenge the big guy. Weaver drops a 4 arc gate hereabouts. And we're about ready to move on to AC turn 2. Top of the AC turn, we're going to charge the Void Gate up to 4, because we have more arc on hand now. And we're going to play Interdiction Protocol on the Scourge, so friendly warrior models within 5 inches will receive +2 defense. And meanwhile, the Grafter is going to shuffle to the edge here, drop down onto here. As a reminder, the civilians will avoid melee range, so essentially he's forcing the delivery guy to take a longer route coming around the side instead of straight up the middle. He has no ranged weapons besides his winning good looks, so he's done. Raxus, however, is not done at all. He is going to hover forwards. He does not have fly, which I think is kind of interesting and a little haunting. He remembers his old friend Baron Morgrave, so he's going to fire his Soul Grinder spray. He's going to target the Void Gate, so it will pass over Morgrave as well. Rat 4, we're going to go against the Void Gate first. 1, 2, 3 strikes. Defense 3 on the gate. 1 gets through. POW 4, armor 5. Nothing happens. Honestly, we weren't expecting a lot. Soul Grinder attack against Morgrave. 3 strikes. 3 strikes against defense 3, no cover because spray attack. And he blocks it. As he looks up and says, "Not today, Raxus," and then we'll eat a pyrokinetic surge to the face. Because we all know you can handle a vampire with a good dose of fire. You can actually handle a lot of things with a good dose of fire. That's why I play Minoth. Coming in, pyrokinetic surge, 1 arc in the tank. 5 strikes. Wargrave will receive cover from the cargo container. Oh, and just not enough. 1 gets through. Armor 4. And gets him for 1, and he's on fire. If you're surprised that things are on fire, you must be new to the channel. I love setting things on fire. That out of the way, let's turn our attention to the Void Gate. As we spit out the squad of raiders, the raker, and we keep 1 arc on the gate for next time. And the grafter will drop a 4 arc gate hereabouts. Jumping over onto the civilian moves, as predicted, the delivery guy is going to go this way. 3 inches, because he doesn't have enough move to get down yet. And pretty much everyone else will have a pretty normal move forwards. Alright, civilians have been moved. We got the doctors closing up on the container. Green jacket smoker. These two, the Uber guy and Bubblegum Girl, are both well within range now to go ahead and get the first identity checks done. Casual guy, and then of course delivery guy skirting along the rooftop. Moving on to ISA turn, the enforcers will receive the gift of arc today, and we will bestow upon them tactilic metamorphosis, giving them +2 rat mat and defense. Reason behind that is they've got some shooting to do, because this guy is very close and eligible to scan, but he's within 3 inches of both the raker and this front raider. So if they want to scan him this turn, the other 2 guys in the squad are going to have to clear off those targets. So the first shot is going into the raider with rat 5 now with tactilic. Oh, that should have been into the raker. That's a good shot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 strikes. And 6 of them get through. He's armor 2. This is all just kind of formality. Oh, that should have been against a raker. That would have been perfect. Alright, now it's up to you to do the same thing your buddy just did. And after doing some real quick ballpark mathematics, we're going to spike to ignore cover, because that raker is very sturdy. Alright, attack coming in, rat 5. Big money. That's a pretty good shot, actually. 5, 6, 7, 8. Still gonna be a hard sell. Def 4. Oh, 7 get through. Alright, he's got to show 8 strikes in order to drop the raker. I think that looks good. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. Bullet just could blow straight through the container and straight through the mecha dog. Absolutely amazing feat of accuracy from these guys, and part of what I love about this game. Last guy is going to spend the special action scan. We're going to roll a dice, but we can't roll a 7 because no one has boarded the ship or been scanned yet. We rolled a 5. Not that it matters. What does matter is that gentleman waiting on his Uber has been scanned. He is a civilian. He is not the agent. Meanwhile, Wojtek Sidal, he's going to swing over here and scan Bubblegum Girl. Probably check out the pink backpack, because he would look fabulous with a pink backpack. And here's where it starts to get interesting, because as I mentioned before, this is a sudden death scenario, which means this dice rolls a 6, that is game over, and she is our agent. That's a cocked eye. Sorry for the suspense. It's a 2. All right, she checks out. What that means, of course, is the next civilian to either get scanned or board the transport will add 2 to their roll, so they will be the agent on a 5 or a 6. Meanwhile, that is their turn 3. We got some Cypher cards that we're going to hold off on for the next pulse round. Let's get something out of this 4 arc gate, get this show moving. As we bring out the Paladin Siegebreaker and the Interceptor. Now the Interceptor, as a reminder, the Interceptor is not a warrior model, but they are really fun and they can shoot things a lot, so good stuff there. And then the Enforcers will drop a 3 arc gate here at the back. We've sorted out the 2 civilians in the center, but that splits us into essentially a 6-10 split. If I'm using that terminology correctly. We got 2 civilians over here, the other 2 way over here. Moving into AC turn 3. Start the AC turn. They have no arc to charge anyone with, but that's just fine for them. They're going to play Devastation Optimizer on Scourgio. And unfortunately for them, everyone has an activation token except for the Raiders, of which there are only 2 left. So those 2 Raiders are going to do their best to put some damage around. Let's take a look at their priorities. So their priorities are going to be these 2 guys over here. Green Smoking Jacket, Green Jacket Smoking, and Dr. Dismantle. As a reminder, they can't be scanned if there's an AC unit within 3 inches, so the idea is to try to escort them out without getting literally eaten alive by the flaming vampire down there. Because I tell you, life is rough in the Thousand Worlds. Alright, they're going to turn and shoot their rifles down at aforementioned vampire, because if they can get 1 more damage off him, then there's a better chance the fire will kill him at the end of this pulse round. We're at 3. 2 strikes going against defense 3. Oh, we're off to a good start. Battle 4, armor 4. Nothing happens. Shot number 2. 2 strikes. Defense 3. Blocked. Now it's kind of a letdown. There is still a chance, a 1 in 6 chance that the fire will get him for both of his health. In the meantime, these guys are going to scamper down. And by scamper down, I mean they're going to jump across to this crate because the civilians are about to move. They don't want to interfere with them moving through this gap. They also don't want none of this. Or this. Or that. Yeah, it's just a scary place to be. Raxus is going to attempt to throw Annihilation Vortex on his old buddy Morgrave. Fortunately, they had no arc in the tank, so it's just a straight focus 4. With 4 strikes, not bad. Cargo container cover. That's fun to say. Ooh, he hit him. Trying to break armor 4. Oh, he almost gets him outright. Puts him down to his last health. And also, just as importantly, repositions him 3 inches backwards. It is time for some reinforcements o'clock. We've got a 4 arc gate here. We've got a 1 arc gate here. As we bring the Marauder out of this gate, and the Nemesis comes roaring out of this gate. And the Raiders drop a 3 arc gate in this gap, mostly just to prevent any of these big base models from charging through. That is turn 3, so let's go ahead and advance the civilians and resolve this pulse round. In spite of his casual appearance, Casual Guy is actually quite terrified. He moves 1, 2. He's going to skirt in between the absolute death nonsense range of the Nemesis and the stabby knives of the Grafter. Likewise, UPS Guy scurries over and drops down onto this rooftop. The Green Jacket Smoker is moving for this gap, and Dr. Dismantle has climbed up onto the cargo container, which is going to present the Regular with a tough choice, because if he does the scan action, he then doesn't get to attack. We will deal with that later. First of all, though, we need to see if Tune-Up expires. Tune-Up expires. Sorry, Scourgy. Let's see if the fire expires on Morgrave. Deals 1, and Morgrave is down in a big puff of light and ash, and probably some ethereal voice screaming, "Next time." So there is the state of things. The board is going to be very crowded. ISA, we've scanned 2 of them. We've got 4 more kind of coming on this flank. This flank, though, pretty heavily armored by the AC. A couple of guys making a break for it. Delivery Guy might be the first one to make it over to the flyer. We'll see how that ends up. And we're going to move on to Pulse Round 2. All right, moving into Pulse Round 2, looking at some ISA priorities going on here. Green Jacket Smoker is unfortunately pretty hard to get because they're within 3 inches of both the Raider and the Marauder. So it's really hard to dislodge both of those and then still have someone with a spare action to run in there. On top of which, they don't have a solo who can really get in there thanks to that gate. The good doctor is pretty close to the Reeve, but he's also within 3 inches of Raxus. So if the Reeve wants to do that, we have to have someone else come deal with Raxus, which the Interceptor could do, but if we just wait, then at the end of this turn, the doctor's going to move 3 inches towards the Reeve anyways. So We're just going to hold off on that one for now, I think. Big priority is moving over here where the AC has a very strong foothold around the delivery guy and the casual guy. We've got the Nemesis there near casual guy. We've got the Grafter. It's gonna be tough to dislodge. So what I'm thinking is we're going to move. We probably need to get the Firebrand into the action. We need to charge him up, start destroying things, because those two Warjacks together are gonna break some stuff. So yeah, we'll start with that. We'll start with getting the Firebrand. He's got the Jack Hunter Cortex, so let's let him do some Jack Hunter things. Now, if you guys saw our previous episode with the Nemesis, you know it becomes very hard to hurt with guns once it gets charged. And it's tough to hurt in melee because it has fly and presumably its opponent does not. So we are going to ruin his sense of air superiority by charging the Firebrand and casting Ascension Catalyst, giving him flight just for this turn. And he's going to take to the skies, swing around, dropping right there, facing his target that's been an issue in the past. And we're just going to lay into him. Everything into the Nemesis. He's going to come in with the Shield Bash first. Good 4 strikes. Nemesis defense 3, and no bonus for flying because his opponent is also flying. 2 get through. Shield is only POW 2. Armor 3, and gets him twice. There's a Titanic aerial clash over here, taking out 2 of the Nemesis 5 health. Shooting the Harbinger Cannon next, gonna roll for strafe because the Scourge is close enough. Gets 1 strafe. Shooting the Nemesis first. 3 strikes against defense 3. All 3 are through. Nemesis just not bringing his A game today. We haven't even gotten to the sword yet. All right, here we go. That is 1 more, 2 more, almost. He's 1 strike shy of cutting him in half. And that's Warcaster for you. One moment you are the terror of the skies, and the next game you are just decimated before you can take an action. Harbinger Cannon into the Scourge. Also a good shot. 4, 5, 6, 7. Scourge does have the high ground, however. 7 strikes, minus 5. So 2 get through. Armor 4 in the Scourge. Ah, but you get him 2. Nobody is safe. Firebrand making a compelling play for MVP over here, bringing both Warjacks down to 1 health. Now we have been saving that last arc so that when we use the sword we could do the system failure effect, but seeing as the Nemesis is down to his last health, we're going to go for broke. So we are going to spike to use the Jack Hunter Cortex, adding +3 action dice to attacks against Jacks. Meaning no red dice, but 7 action dice on this final sword swing. And a good swing it is. That is 7 strikes. It is mathematically more than he can roll on defense 3. 6 of them are through on a POW 5 weapon. Trying to break armor 3 1 time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12. As the Firebrand launches up, meets him in midair, and tears his wings off with the sword. I award you an activation token for a job well done. Meanwhile, Wojtek Sadal is going to pick up the hero activation. He's going to move to this corner for 4, move up for 2, and see if he can't get rid of the Grafter here. We're going to start with his combat blade. He is mat 4 with 3 strikes against the Grafter's defense of 3. And 2 of them are through. Combat blade is a POW 3 against armor 3. And gets him for 1. Grafters are not exactly legendary for their sturdiness. Throw his Force Constrictor next. He is Rat 5. He is an excellent shot. But only 3 strikes again. Defense 3. Would love to take care of this Grafter. Oh, but no. So with no small amount of frustration, he will turn and throw his Null Detonator into the Scourge. Rat 5. 3 strikes again. 3 strikes, defense 3, they're on the same level, so there's no high ground cover. blocks that too. You're supposed to be a good shot there, buddy. So runs up, shanks the grafter, but has no idea which of his organs are vital because he's a grafter. Misses with his snare, misses with his grenades. It's a great day for you, and not so much for you. But we are going to play encrypted command so that he can try again next turn. And moving over to our reinforcement gate with 3 arc. And we'll deploy the tracers out, leaving 1 arc on that gate. The Weaver will drop a 4 arc gate back here because the Morning Star has not yet seen action. Good play there. Over to the AC, turn 1. Alright, after a bit of strategizing here. So the AC's position is, they're on the back foot. They have a bit of a challenge ahead because they can't roll for the agent until civilians start to reach the transport. So they're at a bit of a disadvantage there, but they're at an advantage because all they have to worry about really is the ISA's warrior models. Which means it sounds like only having to worry about Godzilla, but the thing is there's not that many warrior models when you think about it, so if they focus on those, they should be in better shape. So with that in mind, we're going to charge the Marauder, and we're going to play Cankerbane on the Scourge, giving all his melee weapons corrosion. Scourge is going to go first. He's going to jump over to this rooftop. It's slightly higher. I mean, he could go 2, 2, and 2, however you want to do that. The point is, he's going to come say hi to Wojtek. Mat 4, he has 2 arc on him. And a pretty decent roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes. 5 strikes against defense of 3. Oh, 3 get through. This is gonna hurt. 3 of them got through. The Wrecking Claw's POW 4 up to POW 6 now because he has 2 arc charge on him. And unfortunately, Wojtek is down to armor 2 with his 3 health. So 6 strikes will drop him. What? Oh, he's alive. But not by much. He has 1 health remaining, and the Scourge still has plenty of weapons, including the Force Rod, which he is swinging next. And a really good swing that is. That's 7. Is that 7? I can count. 7, yes. 7's bad news when you're defense 3 because it means you're getting hit regardless of anything you roll. Yeah, 4 of them are through. He is slammed 3 inches, and as we mentioned before, the civilian models are essentially tokens, so he's going to pass right through him and drop to the ground. But he's armor 2 right now, so let's actually see if the fall kills him before the Force Rod does. Nope, he lands on his feet. All right, let's roll up for the Force Rod's damage. Armor 2, yep. So when I said he lands on his feet, what I mean is his feet hit the ground first, and then the rest of him follows a moment later. Wojtek is out. As much as Scourge really wants to take some reprisal on the Firebrand down here, he's got other priorities in mind, priorities that are warrior models. So his rocket pod is going to go into the middle enforcer. It'll be a tougher sell because Cankerbane doesn't help your ranged weapons, and these guys have compound armor. But let's see what we can do. We're at 3. 3 strikes on the attack. Defense of 3. Oh, all 3 are through. Gonna break compound armor 4. Yep, main target out. Blast damage on the 2 nearby enforcers. He's fine. And the other one, oh, fine by a hair. So just the middle guy gets it. And he'll put his nailer as the last shot into the Paladin Weaver. Same deal, Rat 3, 2 arc charge. Only 2 strikes. Defense 3 out in the open. And blocked. Still, he made a pretty good showing for himself. He removed Wojtek, which means there's no warrior models within quite a distance here. What he is going to do, he's going to force the casual guy. He's going to have to drop off the roof to move forward, so that's going to slow him down a bit. But delivery guy is in position to make a good clean run for the transport, so that's good news. So the Marauder is going to try to push up the center in order to cut off anyone who could be going after delivery guy when he comes around the corner. So we are going to make a stomp stomp and a drop, which lands him here right behind the Weaver. Don't look behind you, and close to the Firebrand. Does he sprain his ankle? Now these rolls are important, not just because there are little bits of damage here and there, but if you're a solo or a warjack and you take fall damage, you're you get an activation token, so that's no good. Gonna have to see 2 super strikes for that though. Oh, and we come close. Maybe he tweaks a tendon. He is now in a veritable cloud of targets, so he's going to he's going to put his shredder into the interceptor so that he can get strafes off it. Hopefully 2 strafes, but definitely a strafe into the weaver. Or maybe he'll roll blank. Rolling for strafe. Nah, he got his. Into the interceptor. Yeah, not very good. 1 strike. Look, buddy, it's pulse round 2. You can't let the 12-foot angry war machine show you up. That'd be ridiculous. Interceptor defense 4. The only thing worse than getting 1 strike is getting no strikes. Interceptor is armor 4. And takes a damage. Question is, can he do the same thing to the weaver? Attacking in, good roll, 6 strikes. 6 strikes, defense 3. 3 of them are through. He would love to be able to wipe the weaver right now so he could put the claw into the siege breaker. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and he does. Just put some holes in the interceptor, makes it wobble in the air, and then the next shot takes out the weaver. He is feeling pretty good about himself, so he'll put his claw into the siege breaker. Not feeling that good about himself. 2 strikes. Only defense 2 though. And blocked. Orient you guys correctly for your face-off. It looks like they're both trying to hug. I assure you they are really, really not. Well, that was a pretty good turn all told. Opened up this flank. This has been a very strong AC flank for the game. Knocked out the weaver. Doing pretty good work. We do have more warrior models on the field for the ISA, but they are not coming from the back for the moment. Last cipher card is going to be Recurrent Apotheosis, as something horrible happens. This guy vanishes. And Master Tolkien takes the field. Situation's only going to get worse with the 3 arc on the gate. Spitting out a unit of Reavers and the Vassal Boss. And the Marauder will drop a 4 arc gate right here on the back row, right in front of the flyer. And we're just doing this shot because I think it looks cool. Raxus has a presence about him, you know? Before we end the turn, we are going to take Havoc Spiral out of our current rack, and we're going to give it to Master Tolkien. Turn 1 now complete. Let's move the civilians. All right, here's the ISA thought process. You guys are getting a lot more of these little thought process things on this one because it's a tense game. It's a strange little scenario. So the ISA, we've got 4 civilians on the board. I'm still moving these 2 up, even though they've been checked, because they still have to get on the plane. They still have to put their overheads up, you know, seat trays, all that. There's really no chance of them getting to the delivery guy in the near future. The Weaver would have been a good choice to intercept, but he's kind of out of reach now. This guy, casual guy, is possible for one of these guys to reach, but he's still within 3 inches of the Scourge, so we're not getting rid of the Scourge anytime soon. Or, well, I guess he's got 1 health, so we could, but he's got the high ground, so that'd be tricky. Looking over here, both the Good Doctor and Green Jacket Smoker have a group of Reavers blocking them both, which is problematic. So the thought is either the Siegebreaker tries to clear the squad, and then the Reeve can use his action to scan the Doctor, or we flip it, the Reeve tries to clear the squad, and then the Siegebreaker comes up here, tries to scan Green Smoker Jacket. And honestly, since the Siegebreaker is equipped with both blast and strafe weapons, I think that's going to be the play for this one. We're going to charge him and see what damage he can do. So we're going to charge him, and the Reeve is going to try to cast Volition Anchor on the Marauder. Volition Anchor will give him -1 armor, and friendly alliance units will get to reroll attack rolls, which would be nice. No arc in the tank, 3 strikes, shooting from the high ground, so no issues there. It hits, it deals no damage, but the Marauder is now at -1 armor. Siegebreaker is going to move here. It's the best possible spot for him because, yeah, he's got strafe and blast to go into these guys. He's got his claw blade thingy. go into the Marauder. Let's see if he can be half as heroic as the Scourge was, or the Firebrand. Probably a better role model. We are going to start with the missiles. We're going to put the missile into that center Reaver there, because that's mathematically a safe option. We're at 3 and 1 arc charge. 3 strikes. You really got to land these, buddy. Oh, he blocks it. He's going to take the Power 4 Blast against Armor 2. And you have made a heroic sacrifice for the Continuum, absorbing the blast, leaving your squad mate still alive and still complicating the Alliance's day. That was really problematic because we were hoping to use the strafe gun on this, on the Vassal boss. Oh boy. Alright, we're going to put the strafe gun into this Raider Reaver guy here. Raiders, Reavers, the Vassal. Wow, only 1 strafe. Alright, so that means shot into the Reaver. Now, see, there's a good shot. Should have done that earlier. Maybe with the blast thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of them are through. Break Armor 2. Yep. Shooty pew pew, and another one is down. Shooting the Vassal boss. Why are you rolling only good when you don't need to roll that good? Alright. 2 strikes. And of course he blocks it. That is really bad news, and it means the ISA is probably not scanning anybody on this turn. Because now he's only got the Claw left. The Claw could take care of the Reaver, no problem, but it won't handle the boss, and he'd like to put the Claw into the Marauder instead. Yeah, we're just going to go Fusion Sword into the Marauder. Mat 4. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're not going to re-roll that. 6 strikes, defense 2. And 4 are through. Trying to break Armor 3 because of Volition Anchor. Lost a white dice. Didn't do a thing. Alright, he takes 1. Suddenly my confidence in the ISA's counteroffensive is greatly shaken. Well, we know we're not getting any scanning done, which is a bummer, but you know, it happens. So instead we're going to use the Interceptor. It's going to use Sky Hunter to re-roll attack rolls. We'll zip up, kind of out of the way. Rotate, and open up with fixed guns on the Scourge. Rat 4. Yep, re-rolling for Sky Hunter. Only slightly better. 2 strikes. Defense 3. 2 strikes blocked. This is what combat perfection looks like. You may not like it, but this is what it is. Alright, let's set him on fire. Using the Immolator. Better, 4 strikes. We're not going to re-roll that one. Unless he rolls really high. He came close. Alright, you know what? We'll take it. Immolator is POW 5. Trying to break Armor 4. 1 health. And can't even do that. You have so little health and you are on so much fire, but you are still alive. Alright, we use, the last cipher will be Displacement Index. Move these guys. Would you look where you're going? Start moving these guys up towards Casual Guy. Not much to do now, but try to activate this 4-arc gate. And we got the 1-arc gate back here. So in a move I may regret shortly, we're bringing the Weaver out of the 1-arc gate. And bringing the Morning Star stomping out of the 4-arc gate. While the Reeve drops a 3-arc behind there. Not really anybody left on the ISA side to show up on the board. They're here, they're just not really where they want to be. The AC is doing a great job of controlling this middle ground area here, and that is a problem. We're going to start off, Raxus is going to throw Instability Equation, in a very AC sort of way, into the Siegebreaker. You may be thinking that's an odd choice, because Siegebreaker has compound armor, he's armor 5 against Blast, and that poor little Reaver is not. And you'd be correct, that's exactly what we're doing. We don't want to recall him, so we're just going to remove him so he can show up here in about 2 minutes. Focus 4, no arc in the tank. 3 strikes, defense 2. Oh yeah, it blows up. As mentioned, he is armor 5, so we'll see if this actually hurts him. Not even close. Siege Breaker is fine. Let's roll for the Reaver. The Reaver's fine. Try to blow me up, would you? Alright, let's try the Marauder, who is actually down to armor 3. He's fine too. So that did nothing but demonstrate that Raxus doesn't really care about his employees. First things first, the Grafter is going to move up slightly. And he's going to use his repair action on the Scourge. The Scourge is doing a good job and we want him to stick around. He heals a lot of health. He is still on fire, but he's back to full health. Then we're going to activate Master Tolkien, who's really had enough of watching the situation from afar. He's going to pull Havoc Spiral out of his little arm cannon and throw it at the Regulator Reeve. If you didn't catch our previous battle report with Master Tolkien, he is a keeper. He is a Warcaster who trains other Warcasters. He does not care how many arc the player has in their well. He goes focus 5 with red dice every time. So throwing Havoc Spiral at the Reeve with 5 strikes. Regulator Reeve is defense 2 up to 3 because he is charged. And 3 of them are through. POW 3, armor 4. And gets him for 1 health. This is one of his 3 health, but the bigger problem is Havoc Spiral is a pull. So this blast of energy lances out from the Keeper to the Reeve, drags him forwards until he reaches a model, an obstacle, a structure, at which point he drops. Does he sprain his ankle on double super strike? He does not. Meanwhile, Master Tolkien is going to skitter jump and pounce right in front of the Tracers. Does he sprain one of his 19 ankles? No. He has 1 attack, it is his claw. He always counts as being charged, he counts as high intensity. Dangerous, dangerous dude. Good thing he doesn't have guns. Just drop my dice. Mat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes. But his target is flying. And 2 of them will go through. POW 5, armor 3. Cuts him right out of the air. And he has cleave, so we'll take a shot at the next one too. At 4, high intensity. Yeah, 4 strikes on that one. Defense 3 flying. And blocked it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Master Tolkien. We're going to use Impulse Inducer on Scourge O'Clock. And we'll give, on the discard, I know we're not quite there yet, but we got stuff to do. We're going to give Velocity Projector to Master Tolkien. Alright, coming out of this gate here at the back with 4 arc on it. It is the biggest, most obnoxious thing to put on the board when you've got a 3-inch aura of don't scan that civilian. And also a Weaver. AC doing a really good job of closing the net right now. The Vassal Boss will drop a gate here, so that 30 mils can go through, but the Reeve can't just storm his way through that gap. Let's move some civilians and we'll get into turn 3. And boy, do the ISA have some problems moving into turn 3 here. Because these 2 have already been delightfully scanned and are on their way, but Dr. Dismantle is within 1 move of boarding. Delivery Guy within 1 move of boarding. Casual Guy and Green Smoker Jacket are a little farther, but yeah, 2 of the remaining 4 will reach at the end of this turn, and the other 2 will reach shortly thereafter. So the ISA is running out of time to try to scan these guys, especially considering they've got a lot of warrior models kind of in backstock over here. All right, so the ISA has a plane, and it's not a great plane, but you know, a crap plane is better than no plane at all. So in terms of who they can scan, there's not a really feasible way to get to the Doctor or the Delivery Guy before they make it in. They can get to Casual Guy with the Enforcers, but the Scourge is in the way. The Scourge is within 3 inches and doing a great job of being annoying like he normally does. So they do have Impulse Inducer, so we could unlock the Firebrand and have him try to clear out the Scourge. That would be a risky gambit, but if it works, the Enforcers would be able to run in and scan. Alternatively, they could go for Green Jacket Smoker, but they are going to have to get rid of the Marauder and the Reaver, which now that I'm saying that is a lot more doable because the Marauder has Volition Anchor still. This is the last turn for that. let's do that. We're going to charge the Morning Star. Yeah, and it just rolled away. Easy come, easy go. And we're going to play Annihilation Vector. So he is right next to the Marauder. He is just going to randomly kick him in the side of the head with magic. This is just a normal melee attack. It doesn't actually use any of the weapons. It uses their strength. Mat 4. Someone's ready to get in the action. 5 strikes against defense 2. Now 4 are through. Morning Star is strength 5, and the Marauder is still down to armor 3 because of Volition Anchor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just enough. Storms out of a void gate, picks up his boot, and just randomly kicks this guy into a neighboring zip code. The best part is that wasn't even his activation. Let's see what else he can do. He will stomp stomp here. And we've got a number of options. We will start with the shield bash into the vassal. Mat 4. Not a great swing. 2 strikes. Defense 3. Alright, he manages to dodge under that shield. Let's see how he does with the sword. Heavy Fusion Glaive doing heavy fusion things. That's only 3. That's really not... Man, I talked you up and everything. Come on, buddy. Alright, 2 get through. Gonna crack armor 2. Armor 2 cracked. Alright, that frees up Green Jacket Smoker for scanning. He's going to put his Starburst missiles into the newly arrived Scythe, that's the word. This charge, so he has the option to re-roll these. 3, does he want, let's see what the defense roll is first. If you're new to Warcaster, if you're not filming a battle report, these happen at the same time. You attack and you defend, so you're allowed to hold your re-roll until you see what the defense is. So he rolled 3 strikes in the attack, defense 3. 4 blocks it, yeah, so we'll re-roll the attack. Try to beat 4. And we don't. Blast damage on the Scythe, and that's it. Scythe is armor 4. Scythe is fine. Last but not least, we'll shoot the Harbinger Cannon. Same target. How many strafe? 1 strafe. Shooting the Scythe. Again, only 3 strikes. It's really important, buddy. This is the season finale. Alright, 2 of them are through. Armor 4 on the Scythe. And gets him for 1. Brave shot against the Weaver. 4 strikes. 4 strikes is not bad at all. Defense of 3 out in the open. I have to assume she just ducks under that bladed wing unless the bullets bounce off. Well, he did his job. So now the enforcers are going to turn, redirect, move 6. Leapfrog. We'll let one of them take a shot because he can. Let's shoot at the Weaver. Rat 3. Come into battle rifle. 1 strike, defense 3. Blocks it. She's just a nimbly little target, isn't she? But now for the big moment, we are going to politely scan Green Jacket Smoker and see what they get. On a 5 up, that is our agent. No, it's a 4. They are clean. It's getting real tense for the ISA. The next civilian will be on a 4 up, whether they're getting scanned or boarding the transport. Oh man, this is going to be tense. So when it comes to these two at the end of the AC turn, one of them is going to be on a 4 up, and if they're not the agent, the other one will be the agent on a 3 up. And if they're not the agent, then we know the agent has to be casual guy, who's just too casual. But all that is for next time. We're going to play Aggression Theorem and fire off 1 more Starburst volley into the Scythe. Coming in hot. Not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably don't need to re-roll that. Oh yeah, 4 get through. Armor 4 on the Scythe. 1, 2, 3. Takes him for 1 more. Fast damage on the Weaver. Oh, Weaver takes 1 as well. We have no reinforcements to bring out. The only ISA models not on the board is a single Tracer, a single Enforcer, and the Paladin Aegis. So, gotta make do with what we got. Moving on to the AC. AC is going to charge the Scythe. probably know where this is going if you saw our previous report with him. And the Immortal Weaver is going to throw Annihilation Vortex on the Siegebreaker. Focus 4, 1 arc in the tank. And 4 strikes. 4 strikes, defense 2. 2 get through. POW 3, armor is 4. Hey, actually hurt him. Give him the old brain bullets. And we'll then reposition him up to 3 inches. Yeah. Just move him out of the way a little bit. The Scythe will be the next to move. He will gun his jets, swing overhead, drop the wing, and land right there. Because he's charged, he gets to make a scything run over every enemy model he passed over. So we're going to start with the Interceptor. Mat 4, arc charge. 3 strikes. 3 strikes, defense 4. Oh, and 2 of them are through. That's scythe wing is no joke. It's POW 5 levels of no joke. Armor 4. And gets the Interceptor for 1. Attacking the Firebrand. 4 strikes in the attack. Defense 3. And all 4 are through. And up against armor 4. Lost a white dice. Alright, there's 4. Takes him for 2. And that was just his movement. He's now going to make a regular wing blade attack against the Firebrand. Same stats, but not as good. 1 strike. Defense 3. Blocked. I guess his shield was facing this way, so it kind of makes sense. Put his heavy displacer into the Firebrand. With 1 strike. Which is blocked. Still, you did good, buddy. You did real good. And for our solo activation, the Vassal Boss is going to spin around and shoot her submachine guns into the Reeve. Gun number 1, she is Rat 4, no arc. Only 1 strike against defense 3. He blocks it. Second gun. 1 strike again. Forgot to put the bullets in there, did ya? Blocks it. I have to assume he just like turns and parries with a sword like a lightsaber. Just super intimidating. And the Weaver is going to throw Velocity Projector into the Morningstar. Focus 4, 1 arc in the tank. Wow, lost 2 of my dice. New record. She gets 1 strike. Defense 3. And she hits. Wow. Velocity Projector is a slam, so he will collide with the terrain, adding 1 more red dice. Trying to break armor 5. So close, but no. He's going to politely respond by spiking, to use Impulse Reciprocator and shoot a whole bunch of missiles into her head. Rat 4, missiles. Can't reroll because he's no longer charged, but 3 strikes is pretty good. Defense 3, 1 gets through. Show me 3 strikes to drop her. Oh, she gathers all the arcane might of her mind, slams him into a crate. He stands up and makes her disappear with missiles. It is super crowded over here. We've got 3 arc in this gate. We're just going to bring out the Marauder from here. There you go. That wraps up the AC turn, so it is time to make some very important civilian moves. Alright, Green Jacket Smoker has moved up 3 inches. My Uber is late, moves up 3. He's within 1 inch, so he may board the vessel. Civilian secured. Bubblegum Girl is an inch behind him, so she will move up and board next turn. More importantly, Delivery Guy has his clean shot. He will move up his 3. He is within 1 inch, but he has not yet been scanned, so he will board. And let's roll a dice to see if he's our agent or not. But a 4+, he is the agent. And that's a 6. It was the Delivery Guy all along. So that satisfies our sudden death scenario. With an AC win as the agent successfully makes it onto the flyer, taking off towards the relative safety of the governor's mansion. And we will pick up on that story and check on the aftermath at Warfaire Weekend this year. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that episode. That was a really fun scenario to do, super wacky, really custom, and just a really good time. So here's what's gonna happen at Warfare Weekend. Obviously the agents, at least one of them made it onto the flyers and is on their way to the governor's mansion. So at Warfare Weekend, we are gonna set up the governor's mansion. And we are gonna have all sorts of objectives going on. We're gonna have hidden agents, we're gonna have interactive terrain. All of it coming down to, are you protecting or are you attacking? Are you going after the governor or are you defending them? So we will run through that scenario. Again, it's going to be an 8-person table, 4 against 4. The schedule and tickets for Warfare Weekend should have gone up yesterday. I will put a link in the description below. You can find our event. Sign up early. We got 8 seats and we'll see what happens. So once again, thank you guys so much. There'll be another video I do probably today talking about what's next in store for the channel, but I want to make that its own video. So for right now, you've been a lovely audience. Thank you. Congratulate yourselves for watching and have a good one.